We've never talked about the Horseman skit that the nWo did. You were with the company at the time, and Rick, we've never got your 2 cents on that on the show either. Let's talk about the Horseman skit. Everybody remembers the nWo comes out. They're kind of dressed up. They're mocking Arn Anderson, offering Curt Hennig a spot, not any spot, but his spot in the Four Horsemen. It was a big emotional time, and then not too long after, the nWo spoofs it. What were your guys' memories of that, and what was the kind of fallout behind the scenes?
Well, it was way too tough on Arn. That was what I didn't like. There were elements of it that were funny. Nate, I don't know if you agree with this, and I know you two have talked about it, but what was your take on Waltman's imitation of you?
You know, I didn't care because it didn't affect me. What I didn't like was the fact that we did that in Columbia, South Carolina.
Right.
Okay. And that was legitimate between Arn and I, the emotion of the relationship. And when the doctor told me we couldn't wrestle again,
it was a big deal.
It's a big deal. To me, it was real. And I think it was real to him. And I think it was real to Curt at that moment. You know, even though Curt was kind of a prankster, he was getting the rub. You know what I mean? It was a cool deal. It's
a big-time spot.
And I was very emotional. When I came out of the ring, and I'll give you an example. Sting came over to me and said, "That's the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life."
Wow.
I mean, people that get it and really care about people's careers and really care about the business. And the irony of this thing, you know whose idea that was to do that?
Who?
He knows, don't you, Mark?
To do the nWo skit?
Yeah.
No, I don't.
I think I know.
Who?
Kevin Nash.
Terry Taylor.
Oh.
One of Arn's best friends.
I didn't know.
That was his gig. Yeah, Arn was furious. And you know what's funny? You know what the sad thing about it is? Me crying, okay, fine, I'm an emotional guy. It was not about that. And I don't mind being emotional if it's real. It certainly hasn't affected my career. I mean, I'm very emotional about Ashley wrestling right now.
Sure.
But you know, when you
and I agree, Rick, and I think that's actually a strength and far from a weakness because it adds to your legitimacy.
Well, no, but I'm saying that what cracked Arn and what hurt everybody's feelings was his son is watching that at home.
Right.
And they're picking Arn as drinking beer all day long.
Right.
I mean, it was a direct shot at Arn.
Sure.
You know, that me crying, okay, fine. Didn't, you know. But what the worst thing was, though, man, I'm watching that and I'm going, man, when are we up? They never put us on the show.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Wait, that's the thing.
No rebuttal, man.
That, to me, after the fact, was the worst.
No rebuttal.
You guys,
I said, I'm watching
who are the baby
Arn.
faces, don't forget.
Yeah, I said, Arn, watch this. This can be so easy. We just got to go out there with these guys. Are you kidding me? Never a rebuttal. Think about that. And that's what was hard.
Yeah.
And that took place in Pensacola, Florida. And I could tell you a hell of a story, but I don't want to get anybody else. No, I mean, it was more to it than that.
Really?
Arn Anderson's a tough guy.
Oh, yeah, but my big thing about that was I thought it was too tough on Arn, Rick, for the reason you've mentioned. You know, in that era of wrestling...
He's got a 12-year-old son. How old? His son is 2 years or a year older than Ashley. I mean, nobody wants to see that, you know.
Right.
And, you know, I mean, it's not that we all don't get beat up once in a while, you know, but this is... You know, it's okay if you can go out and get your 2 cents in, right? But not to be allowed to say anything to follow something like that where it's really taking a shot at you?
Well, sometimes, too, you have to be unafraid to state your feelings backstage, either before or after the fact. If I can describe
an example
of that.
We didn't know about it.
Oh, you had no idea?
No idea. Hell no.
I honestly, Rick, did not know that. Because I wasn't on TV yet. In fact, I wasn't even at that show.
Nobody told me and Arn nothing, man.
Doing mostly internet stuff from my home. But I'll give you an example. I've told this story, but not very often. When Bischoff and Russo were running the company together, we had a 3-man announce team of me, Schiavone, and Hudson. And there was a situation where there was a cage match, and somehow Russo wound up in the cage with Goldberg. And Goldberg kicked his ass and stripped him, you know, to his waist. And Hudson and Schiavone made fun of Russo's physique. And I said, no. Mr. Russo won Mr. Olympia super thin division, you know, when the competition was held in New York and, you know, whatever. Just some stuff to try to put him over because I was, you know, ostensibly the heel announcer. Well, the next week we got the scripts, and the scripts called for all 3 announcers to work without their shirts.
Oh, that's right. I remember that. Yeah.
Okay, and I said at the production meeting, why would Vince Russo make me? Because Russo was the boss on TV too, right?
Right.
Why would Russo make me work without a shirt? I aided his cause. I spoke for him when that incident occurred. And Bischoff goes, he's a mean bastard. He's going to do whatever he wants. And I go, well, I'm not doing it. And Eric goes, well, you can go home then. I go, okay, see ya. But I just want to tell you, it doesn't make sense. You guys had Tank Abbott kick my ass and strip me almost onto my underwear, and that made sense, so I did it. This doesn't make sense. This is embarrassment for the sake of embarrassment, and you might get other people to play that game, but I won't. And so I went to the locker room and got my stuff packed, but Eric came in and said, okay, we've changed it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to do that. Now, then again, it was easy for me to say because, if I would have walked out, I had a radio career to go home to, and, some guys aren't as fortunate. But sometimes you have to do that. You have to speak up for something that just is, again, embarrassment for the sake of embarrassment. But that doesn't tie into the nWo skit because you guys, again, didn't know.
So, Rick, was there an apology after, or was there a conversation after? I mean, was there any sort of reconciliation?
There was a major conversation, but I don't want to go out there. I mean, it was never publicized. You would have heard if it was.
Okay.
You're going to invite the guy to your house soon and ask him what took place. He'll tell you. So we won't mention any names.
I understand.
But he'll say.
Wait, now who's getting invited to Conrad's house? That sounds like fun.